Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor to welcome you to the official launch of 2 training manuals on migration governance that have been developed by the Department of Health, Humanitarian Affairs and Social Development over the past 3 years. The first manual is a trainer's manual on migration governance for policymakers in Africa, titled Making Migration Work for Africa. And the second is a trainer's manual on migration governance for media practitioners and communication specialists in civil society organizations, titled Migration in Africa, Myths and Reality.
The 2 training manuals are part of a set of 3 that seek to enhance the capacity of member states in the area of migration governance. The first manual of the set is titled Training on Migration Governance, a Handbook for Trainers, and is targeted towards experts from member states and regional economic communities, and was developed between 2019 and 2022 with support from GIZ. This manual was launched in 2022. The 2 training manuals that are the subject of today's launch were developed between 2023 and 2025 with support from the European Union through the International Center for Migration Policy Development, ICMPD. The Commission developed the manuals as a direct response to an identified need for training in the area of migration governance by member states.
The African Union has prioritized the training on migration governance since the ability of member states to manage any aspects of migration is largely dependent on the robustness and the soundness of their migration governance regimes. To this end, the training manual of migration governance for policymakers, titled Making Migration Work for Africa, targets policymakers and parliamentarians on the continent. It also targets African diplomats in Addis Ababa, Brussels, Geneva, and New York. Its objective is to enhance awareness among policymakers on the importance of instituting sound migration governance regimes in Africa in a bid to harness the potential of migration in national development and continental integration, and to prepare African diplomats for dialogues and negotiations on migration with their counterparts from other regions. The second training manual, titled Migration in Africa, Myths and Reality, targets media practitioners and communication experts in civil society organizations in Africa. The training seeks to create awareness of the target group on the migration situation in Africa. This training manual also equips this target group, the media experts, who report factually about migration situation in Africa and Africa's position on migration.
As the continent moves towards achieving the goals of Agenda 2063 and the Africa we want, the launch of these training manuals could not have been more timely. They are critical to our understanding of this migration situation and dynamics in Africa, and how we can make migration work in the socioeconomic development and integration of the continent. We therefore welcome the development of these resources and urge the Commission to disseminate the training manuals and make use of them to train migration stakeholders in member states and in the region economic communities. Further, we also urge the Commission to not only provide training, but follow this up with the provision of technical assistance in the area of migration governance.
As the African Union, we affirm that effective migration governance is not merely a technical undertaking. It is a moral obligation and a strategic necessity. It calls upon us to place human dignity at the center of our efforts to uphold the spirit of continental solidarity and to advance inclusive development through both policy and practice. In this spirit, the launch of these 2 training manuals is both timely and transformative. They offer practical, context-relevant tools to equip all stakeholders, government officials, civil society actors, and technical experts with the knowledge and competencies required to navigate the complexities of migration, address its challenges, and harness its immense potential for Africa's integration and development. I strongly encourage all migration actors across the continent to engage with this training. It is not only an investment in institutional capacity, it is a commitment to the shared future we are building together. I also take this opportunity to commend our partners for their unwavering dedication to strengthening Africa's migration governance architecture. Your collaboration exemplifies the values of partnership, perseverance, and Pan-African purpose. May these resources empower policymakers, practitioners, and community leaders to lead with vision, act with integrity, and uphold the values that bind us as one African people. On this significant occasion of the 5th Ordinary Session of the Specialized Technical Committee on Migration, Refugees and Internally Displaced Persons, I am honored to officially declare these 2 training manuals on migration governance launched. Thank you.